If we take, for example, the issue of Buddhism, we can say whatever we like, but if you listen to a Buddhist like the Dalai Lama, he would say to you that nothing in Buddhism speaks about spirit or divinity or godliness. It speaks only about human consciousness, which can expand, which can even reach a state of illumination. But a state of illumination is being a point surrounded by light, not a discernment and relationship with the light. And that's a very different issue.
I think I don't understand that.
Okay, it's not a line.
Because when you said today, circumcision of perception, what came to me is the Buddha Eightfold Path. It's the right vision. And then you can circumcision of speech. It came to me that he was talking about right speech. And then you talk about the heart. He talked about right action, right understanding. I mean, the path that he showed, other than the illumination, that was not that.
I would ask you
path
something.
of wisdom.
How Buddhism starts? What the first assertion of Buddhism?
You mean the Four Noble Truths?
Yeah.
The life is suffering, and there is a cause of suffering, and there's a way out of suffering.
No, let's stay with that. That the world and existence is suffering. This is how it starts. It's the fact that few and maybe some can escape suffering. It means that we can escape the will and the way that the Creator created the world.
But he is giving technology.
Yeah, but this is a first supposition.
And technology.
Yeah, and I know a little Buddhism, okay? But the first supposition is suffering. And the first supposition is a very severe accusation of creation. It might be a very accurate description of human condition.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a very accurate description of the state of the soul or the state of consciousness. It's not a description of the state of the spirit, because it says that everything, that the goal of all this belief is escaping existence. It is.
So it's
escaping. Yes,
it's how to be in existence, how to receive existence and release the defilement.
It's not accurate, because the ideal of Buddhism is separation from existence. Is going to the monastery. It is. You can say no.
Not mindfulness every moment. Not mindfulness in every moment.
No, but the every moment is you be in a state that will allow you to actually escape samsara. That will allow you to
That's
escape.
Hinduism. Sorry.
No, it is Buddhism.
Buddha. No. Anyway, I guess I don't understand.
No, it's very important to understand it, because the true, and I'm saying it for many years, that the true conversation of Judaism today, definitely of Kabbalah, is with the East, with Buddhism and less,
I do have that.
Less than it used to be, because this is where Jews found themselves. It's less to do with justifying itself in front of or against Christianity. It's more to do with Buddhism. What is the real difference? What is the root difference? I'm not saying it. A Buddhist is saying it, which I guess he understands better Buddhism, which is the Dalai Lama, than all the West interpretation of Buddhism. Okay, he's saying no. You can dig as much as you want. There's no spirit and there's no God in Buddhism. it doesn't say that it's not useful and it has no spiritual path in it. It came from Abraham, so it must have a spiritual part in it. But we need to think whether it belongs to something that gave people an answer after the first ruin of the temple, which is the absence of divinity in the world. This is where 600 before Christ, this is when Buddhism was born. And this is exactly the date of the, one can say, the ascension, or one can say the disappearance of divinity from the consciousness of human beings. So they needed to find an answer. How do you continue to live without divinity? And one of the answers.
Can I say one
Yeah,
thing?
sure.
So what you're talking about 6,000, it's the Veda, it's the Hinduism.
600. No, I was speaking about 600.
Because Buddha was a Hindu, and he came on the premise of Hinduism, which is Atman and Brahma, which there is a divinity. Then
Right.
But what he saw 2,500 years ago, that people are defiling, that they are so attached to the ritual that they forgot the goodness. So
no, but this is
and then he brought the path saying,
I know the history, but why before being attached to a ritual would be with the presence, and since a certain date, it was attaching to an empty ritual, and this is where he appealed. He appeared because divinity has disappeared from the consciousness, so it made it void and empty, and therefore you need to find something that will give humanity an answer how to continue, one can say, to live without divinity, without the presence of divinity. And Judaism is saying we are not giving up on divinity.
I guess that's the marriage.
That's
Maybe
the marriage. If you accept that this is speaking about soul and this is speaking about spirituality, so there is an order. Because I'll show you what I mean in terms of, because what the soul can achieve without the presence of divinity is coming back into the state of minimizing your ego, meaning a very, very small presence of as far as you are able to manage it, meaning not treating your ego as a vessel of work at all, okay? Or if you treat it, is how to diminish it, okay? So if you diminish it to actually nothingness or emptiness, you get like a fetus, you get all the light around you. And this is illumination. It's like a fetus.
Just about that.
Has all the light.
Just for a second, because that's important. Yeah. When he diminished the self, it doesn't diminish the ego that works every day. What he's saying is realizing that you are living in a field of self, that there is a huge field of self, not the individual, but yet he's not diminishing ego to work through the life, the corporal life.
No, but because you can't. Yeah. But he's saying the ideal is basically to live fully with the idea of self, of something which is not the issue. The issue is basically to be part of everything, yeah, part of everything. And if I'll use Thich Nhat Hanh, it's saying that emptiness is the absence of separateness. Yeah, it's the absence
of bestowing love, and you love your friend.
No, because love speaks about a very active self and a very active ego. But an active ego that has the surrender to a different quality, which is bestowal. Okay, so this is the ideal. Now, what we're saying, the Torah speaks about a line, meaning that there is an hierarchy, and it means that there is always the ego, and more than that, it expands. It grows in its desire. And as it grows in its desire, it needs more power of light in order to actually build itself as a new vessel. And the new vessel is called screen or intention. And this vessel can reflect the light. But you see, you discern, you go through all the levels of light, and you are in discernment. And actually, you wish to bring the light inside, meaning not that you are part of and you disappear in the light and the self becomes part of the light, but you actually allow the light to fill you, and then you stand face to face, meaning there's no sort of state that the light devours you and you disappear in it, but you stand face to face. Look, if you want to take sort of a small study the near-death experience of anyone who is pantheist or Buddhist, and let's say a true practitioner of Kabbalah. Their near-death experience are very different. One is to be part of the all and beauty, and the other one is judgment. You're going in front of a judge. You're going in front
That's
of
the Jewish one. That's the Jewish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But
you're being judged. You're not. Why can't we be also butterfly on the everlasting beauty? Because we owe something to the world. And because we owe something to the world and we owe something to the creator, you're being judged. And to be on this trial is to see whether you served honorably, whether you actually took, what kind of a partner have you been? Okay, so, and you can see the result, some of the results of what we see in the last spread. I'm not accusing Buddhism, I'm accusing the West interpretation. Some of the results or the produce of it is me, and again, me.
in Buddhism. Not in Buddhism.
It's my development.
It's
You can see it's the whole industry that gave birth to that. I'm saying I'm not speaking about the Buddhism. I'm speaking about the interpretation of the West of Buddhism. It's two different things. Okay, I know the difference. Okay, so I'm saying it's a whole different bargain. Judaism and studying Kabbalah. This is what I'm saying. It's entering a different covenant. It doesn't say that the covenant of the soul, which is the merit of the East, is not important. On the contrary, where we study Kabbalah, we learn to appreciate and to allow this appearance to shine, but we're not part of it. As Manitou said, these are all flowers of the world, and the duty of a true Hebrew or a true Kabbalist or a true Jew is actually not to be another flower, is to be the thread that ties all the flowers together. So it's a totally different aim and different goal.